This Cognac case study describes our work with FiscalReps to increase sales by explaining a complex proposition. Tom, what's the background to the project?
FiscalReps had an opportunity to capture significant revenue managing insurance premium tax payments and compliance for international insurance companies. The limiting factor on them exploiting that was and winning revenue was being able to communicate what they did clearly to senior decision makers. The main challenge they had was the fact that it's complex, and Mike Stalley, the CEO, was the only one that could explain it. He'd spend about 90 minutes presenting somebody, and then at the end they'd say, come back next month and get somebody else involved, and then somebody else and somebody else. So although he was having meetings, he just wasn't getting traction because people didn't understand what they did.
Why did Cognac get involved?
We were brought in by Mike Stalley because basically the complexity of their proposition and the lack of understanding the market was holding them back. People didn't know they had a problem. They came to Cognac for help explaining their proposition so they could win more sales.
So how did you approach the project?
We interviewed prospective clients, as well as Mike and some of the other members of the team, and found that the issue was that people just didn't understand there was a problem, so they were confused by the need for a solution.
So how did you take what you found in the interviews and translate that into what the big picture should be?
Well, the interviews showed quite clearly that we needed to educate the market. They basically didn't understand that there was a problem. So the big picture starts off with the challenge and spends quite a lot of time clarifying, explaining that, then talks about the possible options, and the idea is to leave people in no doubt they need to do something and that FiscalReps is the best option. This allowed Mike to have a sensible conversation with people where they understood that there was a need. So if I talk you through it, you'll see how it works. So insurance premium tax in the EU, so IPT is basically like VAT for insurance. It varies in every different country across the EU. It's changed recently to make it more onerous. And it comes down, the key thing is about the location of the risk. So it's not where you, the insurer, is based, not where your client's head office is, but where the actual risks are. In terms of what that means is you've got to worry about EU legislation in terms of moving the money around. You might have £5 you have to pay in France, but you have to get the money there effectively. You have to keep up with each of the different countries' legislation and move money and fill in the right tax returns on the right day. In practical terms, you often have to have an actual office in those different countries. And if you get it wrong, your client gets publicly sued and you can go to jail. So the options are, you can do nothing and accidentally risk going to jail. You can avoid the problem and say most of our clients are in the UK will focus just on doing that, but you could lose huge contracts because you can't pay £5 in France. You could set up local agents, have tax accountants, lawyers, specialists that bill you every month for doing it. Or as a big company, you can actually set up a team across the 30 countries and have people doing that in each different country. Or you can work with FiscalReps because that's what they do. Effectively, they've set up a network so you don't need to do it. So they can now explain in 10 minutes what used to take them 90 minutes.
So what have been the results?
Well, having a simple, consistent sales message has meant that others can sell, not just Mike. It's meant that sales are closed a lot more effectively and a lot quicker. We've now translated the big picture into French, and they're using that overseas. The quote from Mike Stalley is, getting the big picture created was the best marketing money we've ever spent. It's enabled us to explain the concept to potential clients quickly so that we spend our time with clients discussing their situations and solutions rather than educating them on the issues at hand. We've been able to grow the business quickly using a unique concept which has meant that recipients remember us and exactly what we offer.
Cognac has helped lots of companies increase their sales by creating big pictures that can be understood in 10 minutes. To find out more, visit us at www.cognac.co.uk or call Ellen or Anna on 0207 084 6740.